Hey guys! Today we're going to learn a little about Gregory Mankiw's core economic principles. Overall, there are 10 principles that are separated into 3 categories: how people make decisions, how the economy works as a whole, and how people interact. Hopefully by the end of this little video, you'll be more comfortable with your knowledge in the principles. Number 1. People face trade-offs. This one's actually rather simple and doesn't need a whole lot of explaining. All you have to understand is that to get one thing, you must give up something else in order to obtain it. You have to trade one goal for another when making decisions. Number 2. The cost of something is what you give up to get it. Decision makers have to consider both the obvious and implicit costs of their actions. That doesn't mean monetary cost, rather the goal you're giving up for the other. Let's say it's late at night and you have a big test tomorrow at school. For the next few hours, you can either study or you can go to bed. If you choose to study, you give up some sleep and risk having a hard time staying awake during the test, but you'll have the knowledge that you need to pass it. If you go to sleep, however, you give up studying and risk getting a bad grade on the test, but you'll be fully rested and have an easier time focusing. 3. Rational people think at the margin. A rational decision maker takes action if and only if the marginal benefit of the action exceeds the marginal cost. Someone who thinks at the margin wouldn't go off doing something like pulling an all-nighter or walking through a bad part of town unprotected. They understand that the costs of these actions outweigh the benefits, so they choose not to do things like this. 4. People respond to incentives. People's behavior changes when the costs or benefits change. Take sales shopping, for example. Normally you wouldn't think of buying a whole lot of clothes all at an expensive store, but if there's a big sale going on for t-shirts and pants, you're more likely to consider buying the clothing. 5. Trade can make everyone better off. Trade allows each person to specialize in the activities he or she does best. By trading with others, people can buy a greater variety of goods or services. Remember back in elementary school when you used to trade lunches or desserts or snacks and other stuff with your friends at the lunch table? It's a similar concept. You all got something you wouldn't be able to get on your own, and everybody benefited from the trade. 6. Markets are usually a good way to organize economic activity. Households and firms that interact in market economies act as if they are guided by an invisible hand of sorts that leads the market to allocate resources efficiently. The opposite of this is economic activity that is organized by a central planner within the government itself. 7. Government can sometimes improve market outcomes. When the market fails to allocate resources efficiently, the government can change the outcome through public policy. Some examples of this would be making regulations against things like monopolies and pollution. 8. A country's standard of living depends on its ability to produce goods and services. Countries whose workers produce a large quantity of goods per unit of time enjoy a higher standard of living. Similarly, as the nation's productivity grows, so does its average income. This is how you can tell the difference between first world countries such as the United States and more recent years China, and a stick-shaking or third world country. 9. Prices rise when the government prints too much money. In a sense, this principle is the basic definition of inflation. When a government creates large quantities of the nation's money, the value of the money falls. As a result, prices increase, requiring more of the same money to buy goods and services within the country. 10. Society faces a short-run trade-off between inflation and unemployment. This principle can be demonstrated using the Phillips curve. Reducing inflation often causes a temporary rise in unemployment. This trade-off is crucial for understanding the short-run effects of changes in taxes, government spending, and monetary policy. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you've learned something from watching this. Thank you!